Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Golden Piggy on GTA 4 getting things a little bit wrong. Coming down a hill, goes for a big oversteer moment, clips a lamppost and parks it perfectly between a tree and a wall. It's not really what you want on that one. It's a very good Austin Powers style parking job we have going on here. Thankfully, in the world of GTA 5, while shuffling it backwards and forwards isn't quite going to work, you can get the wheels spinning, and once they've touched the ground, the car will shuffle its way back. Still rather well positioned. Douglas is up next, also on GTA 4, trying to go somewhere in a taxi. So they set the waypoint, get in the vehicle, let the game load, and then the taxi driver decides that they should arrive on their side. This is why FailRace do not have a taxi service, because if we did, this is the sort of thing. I mean, this is still in training, it's not fully on its roof, so this is not quite there yet. But I don't know. It's basically what I'm going to leave with that one. We're on to Midnight Club LA up next, when things go a little bit wrong. Did not realise there was an obstacle in the way there. We'll go for a big old roll. Almost a wonderful landing to carry on, but not quite. Lamborghini bounced, and that's a bad time. We're on to Gran Turismo next with a Dodge concept car. Things go a little bit awry, though, heading to the first corner. I mean, physics is a little bit wonky at the best of times. The car is on two wheels quite a lot. Bounces off a wall. It's just slow coming off of the corner as they struggle for control. It's the vehicles following. They get all sorts of issues as they just ping around into the air. Who knew? I think it was a Viper competition coupe that got one of the vehicles that got bounced about. This was from a TVR further back. So everything's just racing into the corner as normal. Player has an issue, and Viper goes over the TVR. TVR lands and has a problem on its own, unfortunately. TVR coming off worse, but yeah, that's not quite what you want to come around the first corner to see, if I'm honest. It's not really ideal. We move next onto a track mania. Potato Crusher is racing in this one, heading up towards the finish line and gets things just a little bit wrong. That's the finish gate. You're supposed to drive through it, not hit the barrier. And, well, it was a spectacular crash and a spectacular way to lose the time trial or whatever. But yeah, that's not quite what we were wanting. I have no idea on Elite. Dangerous is in the middle of battle, and they go for ramming speed. I don't know if that is a wise idea on this game, having not played enough of it, but they go for ramming speed on a stricken ship. Physics has had enough of that shenanigans, and we're going to spin around, and while there's technically no real up when it comes to space, this is still a lot of spinning around, very much out of control. It does eventually come to a halt. Smart guy up next on Wreckfest is driving a bus against a bunch of little vehicles from sofas and lawnmowers and bumper cars. Now, this is all very fun and all very well and good. However, sometimes the little vehicles fight back and, well, they can actually defeat a bus. If you wedge enough of them under the bus wheels won't touch the ground, and it gets stuck. It's actually completely stricken. It's only rescued when it only starts moving because a bumper car rescues it and pushes it off the wrecks. But yes, the bus can be defeated by little cars. We move up next onto Car X Drift with Cherished Seal running a little bit wide over a curb, and the game decided the BMW shouldn't be on its wheels. It does land again. You know, it's kind of the game in some regards to put the car back on its wheels, but yeah, just runs a little bit wide. You know, I say it's understandable. You just don't expect the curb to launch the car into a flip. But yeah, it does come back down on its wheels. Can continue onwards. You've got to be careful. Got to be careful of the curbs. You do not want to be having arguments with them, apparently. Or you don't want to be having arguments with bushes. Unusual Infuriation here is on Assetto Corsa, and this is driving with some of the classic Formula 1 cars around a classic Nürburgring circuit. And yeah, that's well, it wasn't actually a bush technically that was hit. I think there was a little sort of mound of dirt, that was slightly obscured. It rolls the car over, but amazingly lands on its wheels and can carry on. Bradley is up next on Assetto Corsa, getting things wrong with a Time Attack Evo. I think it bottomed out, causing the car to spin, ends up in a wall, and then doesn't really want to go back onto its wheels again. It's throwing a little bit of a fit. It does bounce its way eventually back down to carry onwards, but yeah, I guess setup maybe not quite right on the car, or just something goes wrong. Either way, it's into this bank's corner, the back end just snaps around on it. I mean, that part of the crash is kind of normal. This bit, not so much. Cars are not supposed to quite do that. But surprisingly, it actually does come back to a rest, which is unusual for Assetto Corsa bouncy cars. We're on to BeamNG Drive next with a high-speed run at night. Now, I mean, this is a good advert for why you shouldn't go street racing at night, because you never know what's going to be over the crest of a hill. And as we're overtaking some cars in all of this, well, things go predictably. There is a crest, there's a car in the way, can't get out of the way in time. Well, can dodge one of them, but can't dodge both of them, and it's a huge fiery wreck for the sunburst here. Yeah, that's a big one. Now, it is at night, it's very difficult to see, so they sort the time of day out so you actually see. I mean, the sunburst is a complete mess. The other vehicles also, funnily enough, didn't fare so well in this particular accident. That's the muscle car that was the second vehicle that hit. The K-Series got away a little bit lightly, or still quite yeah. That's just one of those. Yeah, it's a horrific crash, that one. We have BC finally on beam as well, or driving one of the ridiculously fast drag vehicles on a surface that's not quite designed for it. It's not flat enough, it's not level enough, lose control at 200 plus miles an hour, and funnily enough, when you do that, if you go for a roll, it's going to be a lot of them. I wouldn't be able to count how many is going on here, but it's an awful lot. The car, like, amazingly, the car is still just about in the shape that it was to begin with. But that might be a new rolling record right there, because that was an absolute I don't know which crash is scarier, that one or the sunburst over the I'm not sure. Both are horrifically nasty crashes on beam. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to that in the description of this video. There you can find all the rules and how it works. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.